From the mist-covered moors of Ireland to the shadowy depths of Germany's ancient forests, from the silent, winding canals of the Netherlands to the fog-drenched hills of Belgium, tales of the elusive creatures and otherworldly beings have been whispered throughout the ages. These mysterious entities, veiled from mortal sight, have captivated hearts and minds with their haunting mystery and untold power. But who are these fairies, and where did their stories originate? In today's video, we'll explore the history and mythology of the Fae folk from the four fascinating regions: the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, and Great Britain. Let's start in the Netherlands. In Dutch folklore, fairies are often seen as elusive beings, deeply intertwined with nature, forests, fields, and even water. One of the most well-known creatures is the water nixa, or water nymph. These spirits are believed to dwell in rivers, lakes, and streams, their ethereal forms blending seamlessly with the flowing waters. They are often depicted as strikingly beautiful women with long flowing hair and shimmering skin, not to be confused with Edward Cullen. Their presence both mesmerizing and dangerous. The water nixa has the power to lure unwitting humans to their doom, drawing them beneath the water's surface with enchanting songs or appearing as irresistible vision. Yet in other stories, these same spirits are known to offer gifts of magical powers or healing, rewarding those who show them kindness or respect. The water nymphs have long held a significant place in local folklore, and their stories are passed down through generations. In medieval times, these spirits were often associated with local superstitions and warnings. Fishermen and travelers near bodies of water would leave offerings, such as flowers, coins, or small tokens in the hopes of appeasing the water nixa, ensuring safe passage across the water or a bountiful catch. Some local tales tell of water nymphs who, in a rare act of benevolence, help lost travelers find their way home or guided sailors through their treacherous waters. Another well-known spirit from the Dutch folklore is the kabouter, a type of gnome who is often linked with the care of the waterways. While less dangerous than the water nixa, kabouters are still mysterious figures, sometimes seen near rivers and ponds, watching over the hidden corners of nature and protecting the flow of water. It was said that angering a kabouter could cause floods, while pleasing them could result in a summer of plentiful rain. As Dutch society evolved, the belief in water nixa faded, but the remnants of their influence can still be found in stories told around campfires and in the quiet, misty mornings that linger over the canals and rivers. Their legends speak to the deep, timeless connection the Dutch people have had with their waterways, a relationship shaped by both reverence and fear, where nature's beauty often hides its darker secrets. Across the border in Belgium, the fairy folk are not merely figures of mischief and magic, they are deeply entwined with the supernatural, bridging the realms of life, death, and the unknown. In the mist-laden forests and the quiet villages, these creatures hold dominion over both the living and the spirits of the dead, guiding souls and wreaking havoc depending on their whims. One of the most well-known beings in Belgian folklore is the
Sika,
a type of spirit or fairy said to haunt specific regions, especially the rural areas and the wooded lands of
Wallonia and Flanders.
often described as a spectral being. The
Sika
is believed to be the restless spirit of someone who had died a terrible or violent or even untimely death. Unable to move on to the afterlife, these spirits are typically depicted as ghostly figures, either humanoid in form or as shadows that shift through the landscape, causing an eerie chill wherever they appear.
Sika
is notorious for its connection to the supernatural world, existing as a bridge between the living and the dead. It is often said that these spirits linger near crossroads, ruins, or an ancient burial site, places where the veil between the world is the thinnest. They are known to be the harbingers of misfortune, appearing just before a tragedy, or even marking places where the death has recently occurred. However, not all tales of the
Sika.
are foreboding. In some regions, these spirits are thought to guard certain sacred sites, such as old chapels or burial mounds, ensuring that the balance between life and death remains undisturbed. Belgians have a rich tradition of folklore surrounding
Le Fae.
fairies believed to dwell in the dense forest, rolling hills, and the tranquil meadows of the region. These fae are often depicted as guardians of nature, deeply connected to the fertility of the earth and the balance of the natural world. Legends describe them as ethereal beings capable of both immense kindness and swift retribution depending on how humans treat the environment. One prominent tale from the
Ardennes.
region tells of the
Blanche Dame.
or the White Lady, a spectral fairy who appears clad in a flowing white gown. She is said to reside near ancient wells and a sacred spring. According to the legend, farmers who honor the land and respect these natural water sources may find their crops flourishing and livestock thriving under her unseen protection. Conversely, these who defile the waterways or exploit the land risk facing wrath, often in the form of drought, crop failure, or even misfortune. And another well-known story from the
Gaume.
region,
De Fée de la Roche aux Corneilles.
or also known as the fairies of the Crow's Rock, are said to weave shimmering tapestries under the moonlight. These fairies reward travelers who help maintain forest trails or show kindness to animals. However, those who hunt excessively, cut trees without gratitude, or disturb the natural balance may find themselves lost in the woods for days, misled by the illusions crafted by these fairies.
The Nutons.
Is another class of mythical creatures, sometimes considered fae, are said to dwell in the subterranean caves and rocky outcrops. Known for their exceptional craftsmanship,
The Nutons.
are believed to mend tools, repair broken household items, and even leave small treasures for those who show humility and generosity. However, if you show greed or disrespect toward these creatures can result in their vengeance, often causing household mishaps or financial misfortune. These fairy legends serve not only as enchanting folklore, but also as the moral lessons about the importance of respecting nature, showing gratitude, and maintaining balance with the world around us. Even today, remnants of these beliefs are reflected in local festivals, place names, and folk traditions throughout Belgium. In Germany, the fairy tradition is rich with stories of
Die Feen.
fairies who are often both benevolent and terrifying. One of the most iconic figures in German fairy lore is the
Nachtkrab.
or Night's Crow. This eerie spirit is believed to take the form of a large crow and is often linked to death and dark mysteries of the night. According to some of the legends from Bavaria,
The Nachtkrab.
appears to warn of impending death. Its chilling call echoes throughout the forests. In other tales, it preys on disobedient children, whisking them away if they wander too far after dusk. Some stories even suggest the
Nachtkrab.
guards ancient burial grounds, ensuring no one disturbs the rest of the dead. Many of Germany's most cherished fairy tales were immortalized by the Brothers Grimm. who collected folklore from across the country and preserved these stories in their famous anthologies. Among these tales are numerous accounts of mystical beings known as the
Faen.
or Fae, who often played pivotal roles in the narratives. These Fae, sometimes benevolent and other times mischievous, were believed to dwell in enchanted forests, hidden realms, or magical castles. One of the well-known tale featuring such magical beings is the 12 Dancing Princesses. In this story, 12 princesses are discovered to mysteriously wear out their shoes every night, despite being locked in their room. It is revealed that they are spirited away by magical beings to a hidden world, where they dance the night away in the enchanted underground kingdom. In this realm, the princesses experience no sense of time passing, nor do they age, as they revel in the magic of the fairy world. Another notable grim tale involving fairies is the elves and the shoemaker. In this heartwarming story, a poor shoemaker and his wife find themselves assisted by tiny elves who secretly craft beautiful shoes overnight, bringing the couple prosperity. The elves, grateful yet shy, work their magic unseen, showcasing their role as benevolent spirits of fortune. In The Frog Prince, although the story is best remembered for its enchanted frog, the princess's transformative journey hints at magical forces at play, likely tied to the influence of Fae or similar supernatural beings who often weave spells and curses into human lives. Similarly, Rumpelstiltskin introduces a mysterious and magical figure with seemingly fairy-like qualities. This mysterious character possesses the power to spin straw into gold, a talent often attributed to a magical being from this folklore. While Rumpelstiltskin is not explicitly named as a fairy, his powers align closely with the supernatural abilities often linked to the Fae. These timeless tales continue to captivate audiences, blending enchantment, mystery, and moral lessons that reflect the cultural heritage of the German folklore. Now let's cross the channel to Great Britain, a land where the veil between the worlds is said to grow thin, and the whispers of the unseen beings drift through the mist. The British Isles are steeped in fairy lore, their landscapes tangled with the tales of encounters that blur the line between reality and enchantment. From the mysterious of Ireland to the elusive Fae of Scotland and England, Britain's fairies are woven deeply into the fabric of its natural world. These ethereal beings are said to dwell in ancient groves, quiet glens, and shadow barrows. The air itself seems to hum with their presence, and those who wander off the beaten path may find themselves drawn into their mysterious domain. In Scotland, the Sith, the Fae folk, are whispered to reside in the hills and beneath the earth in their emerald green palaces. They are guardians of the wild, but their fickle nature makes them perilous to encounter. Legends warn that unwary travelers who stray into their realm may lose all their sense of time, awakening years later to find the world they knew long gone. Ireland's legends speak of the Sith, powerful and otherworldly beings who inhabit the great mounds that rise from the land like their silent sentinels. Tales abound of mortals drawn into their shimmering courts, where haunting music lulls them into a deep trance from which few return unchanged. The legend of
Oisin.
the warrior poet who was spirited away to
Tir Nanog.
the land of eternal youth tells of his return to the mortal world only to find centuries have passed, and all he once knew had faded into memory. In some stories, the
Plurican.
a mischievous cousin to the leprechaun guards hidden treasures but delights in leading greedy souls astray. In England, the hobgoblin is said to be a mischievous yet occasionally helpful creature lurking in homes and barns. While some are benign, others grow vengeful as slighted, turning everyday life into chaos with their pranks. The sinister dark fae of Cornwall are far less forgiving, shadowy figures that lure travelers from safe paths with false lights only to vanish and leave them stranded in the wilderness. Perhaps the most notorious of Britain's fairy tricksters is Puck, or Robin Goodfellow, a cunning spirit who thrives on sowing confusion among the mortals. Immortalized in Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night Dream, Puck's antics may be playful, but they often lead unsuspecting victims down paths that twist into realms best left unexplored. In Cornwall, some speak of the Knocker, a spirit that haunts minds tapping on stone to either guide or mislead those seeking fortune below the earth. From the enchanted groves to the shadowed moors, the fairy lure of the British Isles shrouds the land in an air of mystery, where every whispering wind or a flicker of the light might be a glimpse into the realm of the unseen. Across these four regions, the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, and Great Britain, the fairy folk have long captured the imagination of the people. Whether they're the guardians of nature, mischievous tricksters, or even mysterious spirits, the Fae realm reminds us that there are always more to the world than meets the eye. So next time you find yourself walking in the forest or near a quiet stream, take a moment. You never know. There might be a Fae watching over you, or even leading you into a world where magic is very real. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more mystical folklore stories. Until next time.
Thank you all for watching another episode of Cryptids with Fawkes and Fae. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave something nice in the comments. Remember to subscribe to our Patreon to support the channel and for early access to all our podcast episodes and for our upcoming exclusive Patreon book club. For more on the Greyhorn Pagans, Witchy Whispers, and more, go to our website www.greyhornpagans.com. Thank you all. Until next time.
Don't forget to leave something shiny out. FireFae out.